You welcome U.S. Coins 1943. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, where seemingly ordinary coins can turn into valuable treasures. One such coin that has piqued the interest of collectors and enthusiasts alike is the United States quarter dollar from 1983. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter you could find in your pocket, but there's a lot more to the story. The 1983 quarter holds an interesting place in U.S. coinage history and, for some lucky collectors, it can be worth much more than its face value. Let's take a deeper look at what makes the 1983 quarter so special and what could make it worth a lot of money. The Washington quarter, which has been in circulation since 1932, features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse side, with an eagle on the reverse. While the design of the coin has remained relatively unchanged over the decades, the value of these quarters can vary widely based on a number of factors, especially the year they were minted. The 1983 quarter is no exception now. You may be thinking, a 1983 quarter? That's not that old, is it? And you're right, it's not as old as some of the more famous coins from the early 20th century. However, what makes the 1983 quarter unique is its connection to the history of U.S. currency, as well as some subtle details that make it more collectible than you might expect. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a significant change in the composition of the nation's coins. Up until then, quarters were made primarily from a silver-copper alloy. However, in response to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of minting coins, the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition for most coins, including the quarter. The 1983 quarter was among the first to be struck in this new composition, which makes it particularly important for coin collectors who are focused on the evolution of U.S. coinage. While this change in composition might not seem like a big deal at first, it actually marked the end of an era for U.S. quarters. The shift from silver to copper-nickel meant that future quarters would no longer have the same weight and luster as their silver predecessors, and that made the remaining silver quarters from earlier years even more valuable. As a result, the 1983 quarter represents the tail end of an era in American coinage, making it a key date for collectors who are trying to complete sets of quarters or who are interested in the transition between the old and new compositions. And now, let's talk about the factors that really drive up the value of the 1983 quarter. One of the most important things to keep in mind when it comes to coin collecting is the condition of the coin. Coins that have been used in circulation for many years tend to show signs of wear and tear, which can significantly reduce their value. A quarter that has scratches, dents, or discoloration is much less valuable than one that is in pristine condition. In fact, coins that are in mint condition, or even close to it, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than their circulated counterparts. The key to finding a valuable 1983 quarter is looking for one that has been well preserved. A quarter that has been kept in a protective case, stored away from heavy use, or simply treated with care over the years could be worth a lot more than you might expect. In fact, a 1983 quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition can fetch a significantly higher price than one that has been worn down through regular use. But there's another reason why the 1983 quarter is particularly valuable: minting errors. These are rare and exciting occurrences that can happen during the minting process, causing a coin to have a flaw or unique characteristic that was not intended. These errors make coins highly desirable to collectors because they are one of a kind, and they can sometimes increase the value of a coin by a substantial amount. For example, some 1983 quarters were struck with errors, such as double strikes or misaligned dies. A double strike happens when a coin is struck twice by the die, creating a blurry or overlapping design. A misaligned die occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a coin with an off-center image. These types of minting errors are relatively rare, and when they occur, the coin is considered far more valuable than a regular quarter. The presence of a minting error can sometimes increase the value of a 1983 quarter dramatically. If you find a 1983 quarter with an unusual characteristic or a flaw that was caused during the minting process, it could fetch a price far above what a regular quarter would be worth. The 1983 quarter is also interesting because it holds significance for those who are collecting coins based on their historical context. The late 20th century was a time of great change in U.S. coinage, and the 1983 quarter represents the shift from traditional metals like silver to more modern, cost-effective compositions. For many collectors, coins from this period are highly sought after because they offer a glimpse into the changing landscape of American currency. So, how much can you expect a 1983 quarter to be worth? The value can vary depending on its condition, rarity, and any minting errors. In general, a 1983 quarter that's in circulation and shows signs of wear is worth just its face value of 25 cents. However, the story changes when the coin is in excellent or uncirculated condition, or when it features a minting error. A 1983 quarter in mint condition could be worth several dollars, but there are rare examples that have sold for much higher prices. Some 1983 quarters, particularly those with minting errors, have been known to sell for significantly more. For example, one particularly rare 1983 quarter, with unique characteristics and exceptional condition, has been sold for as much as $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a single coin. This astounding figure highlights just how much a coin like the 1983 quarter can be worth when it possesses the right combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors. The world of coin collecting is full of unexpected treasures, and this 1983 quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can transform into a valuable collector's item. So, if you happen to come across a 1983 quarter, take a closer look. Is it in great condition? Does it have any unusual markings or minting errors? You might just be holding onto a coin that could be worth $73,000 or more. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, the 1983 quarter is a perfect reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hidden in plain sight. Happy hunting! Top 2 1982. At first glance, it might appear to be just another coin that you could easily find in your change, but there's more to this 1982 quarter than meets the eye. Let's dive into the story behind this coin, its significance, and why it could be worth far more than its face value. The Washington quarter, which features the iconic portrait of the first President of the United States, George Washington, has been a mainstay in U.S. currency since 1932. The quarter's design has remained relatively consistent throughout the years, with only a few changes made to commemorate special events or historical milestones. But while the basic design has stayed the same, some quarters from certain years can be worth much more than their original value, and the 1982 quarter is one of those coins. The 1982 quarter is part of a series of Washington quarters that were minted at a time when the United States was undergoing a significant change in the composition of its coins. Prior to the 1960s, quarters were primarily made from silver, a metal that had become increasingly expensive. In the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint began switching the composition of its coins, including the quarter, from primarily silver to a combination of copper and nickel. By 1982, the shift in metal composition was well underway, and the 1982 quarter was made with a copper-nickel alloy that is still used in the production of quarters today. While this change in composition was important for the mint and its ability to continue producing coins at a lower cost, it also has implications for collectors. The 1982 quarter represents a significant transition in U.S. coinage, marking the end of an era when silver was a key component in the nation's coins. For collectors who are interested in the history and evolution of American currency, the 1982 quarter holds a special place, and that alone makes it more interesting and valuable than other quarters in circulation. Now, let's talk about the factors that really make the 1982 quarter worth something more than just its face value. One of the most important aspects of any coin's value is its condition. The fact is, most coins that are used in circulation, even if they aren't old, end up getting worn down and damaged over time. A 1982 quarter that has been bouncing around in your pocket or used for everyday transactions is likely to show signs of wear, including scratches, discoloration, and faded details. However, if you happen to find a 1982 quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, one that looks as though it just came from the U.S. Mint, then you've stumbled upon something of real value. Coins that have been carefully stored, preserved, or kept in protective cases over the years are far more valuable than coins that have been subjected to the rough treatment of daily circulation. A 1982 quarter that is free from any signs of wear and tear, with sharp, crisp details, is much more desirable to collectors and can be worth significantly more, but it's not just the condition of the coin that can affect its value. Another factor that can dramatically increase the worth of a 1982 quarter is the possibility of a minting error. Minting errors happen when there's a flaw in the production process, causing a coin to be struck incorrectly. These types of errors can result in a coin with a misaligned design, an off-center image, or even doubled inscriptions. Minting errors are relatively rare, and when they occur, they make the coin more unique and desirable to collectors. So for example, if you find a 1982 quarter with a double die or a misaligned die, you could be holding onto a coin that is worth far more than its face value. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, creating a blurry or overlapping design. A misaligned die happens when the design on the coin is not properly centered, giving the coin an off-kilter appearance. These errors are prized by collectors, and they can drive up the price of a 1982 quarter dramatically. Another factor that adds to the allure of the 1982 quarter is its role in U.S. coinage history. By the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of quarters every year, and the 1982 quarter represents a transitional moment in the evolution of the U.S. dollar. For many collectors, coins from this period are essential for completing a full set of Washington quarters or for documenting the history of American currency. The 1982 quarter serves as a reminder of a pivotal time in the mint's production process, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for a coin that helps tell that story. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the potential value of a 1982 quarter. While a typical 1982 quarter that has been circulated through daily transactions will likely only be worth its face value of 25 cents, a rare 1982 quarter that is in mint condition or has a notable minting error can be worth significantly more. In fact, some of the rarest 1982 quarters, particularly those with unique minting errors or those in exceptional condition, have been known to sell for impressive sums. In one notable case, a 1982 quarter in nearly flawless condition was sold for as much as $77,000. That's right, $77,000 for a single coin. This remarkable price tag serves as a testament to just how valuable the 1982 quarter can be under the right circumstances. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or visiting a coin shop, make sure to keep an eye out for that 1982 quarter. Whether it's the historical significance, its pristine condition, or a potential minting error, the seemingly ordinary coin could turn out to be a hidden gem. You never know, you might just find a coin worth $77,000. Happy hunting, and good luck on your coin collecting journey. Top 3 1986. While most of us probably think of quarters as just small change, some of them can hold incredible value, especially when you look at the unique features they may have. So, let's dive into the story of the 1986 quarter, its history, and most importantly, its potential worth. The Washington quarter, with its iconic image of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932. The design has remained relatively constant, but its value can vary dramatically based on several key factors. A quarter from 1986 might look like any other typical quarter at first glance, but there's a deeper story beneath the surface. Let's explore why this coin is particularly interesting and why it could be worth much more than just 25 cents. In 1986, the United States Mint was still using the standard copper-nickel clad composition for quarters. This change had happened earlier, in 1965, when silver was removed from most U.S. coins due to rising silver prices. The 1986 quarter was struck during a time of transition in U.S. coinage, as new designs and programs were slowly being introduced, making it a key part of American coinage history. While the basic design of the Washington quarter remained unchanged, 1986 marked the year when the United States was beginning to shift toward introducing commemorative coins. This was the year the U.S. Mint was gearing up for the upcoming 50 states quarters program, which would begin in 1999. These commemorative coins, celebrating individual states, would change the way quarters were produced forever. But before all of that, the 1986 quarter represents the final years of the traditional Washington series before these new designs took over. As a result, for collectors who focus on U.S. coins as part of a larger historical collection, the 1986 quarter holds a certain level of importance. So, what makes the 1986 quarter particularly valuable? The most important factor when it comes to determining a coin's worth is its condition. Like most coins, the 1986 quarter was produced in large quantities, but as it was circulated, many coins became worn, scratched, and damaged. The ones that have survived in pristine condition are much rarer and, therefore, more valuable. A 1986 quarter that is in excellent or uncirculated condition, with sharp details and no visible damage, could fetch a much higher price than a coin that's seen years of use, but it's not just the condition that can make a 1986 quarter valuable. Another key factor is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during production, leading to unique and rare characteristics that make the coin stand out from others. These errors can vary in nature. Some may feature misaligned designs, while others might have double strikes or even missing elements on the coin. These types of minting flaws are highly sought after by collectors, and coins with minting errors are often worth significantly more than those produced without flaws. For example, a 1986 quarter with an unusual minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, could attract the attention of serious collectors and be worth much more than its typical value. A double die occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing parts of the design to overlap and appear blurry or distorted. A misaligned die might result in a coin that is slightly off-center, giving it a unique look. These errors are rare, and when they happen, they make the coin incredibly interesting and valuable to those in the numismatic community. In addition to its condition and the potential for minting errors, the 1986 quarter also carries a certain level of historical significance. As we mentioned earlier, the 1986 quarter was minted in the years leading up to the 50 States Quarters program, which would eventually become one of the most popular and successful coin programs in U.S. history. For collectors who focus on coins from specific time periods or who collect Washington quarters, the 1986 quarter is an essential piece of the puzzle. It is one of the last few years before the country embarked on a new chapter in its coinage history, making it an important part of American numismatic history. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the potential value of the 1986 quarter. While a typical 1986 quarter that has been used in circulation will likely only be worth its face value of 25 cents, a well-preserved or error coin can be worth a lot more. The rarity and condition of the coin are what drive up the price for collectors. A coin that has been kept in excellent condition or one that features a notable minting error can be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. In fact, some 1986 quarters, particularly those that are uncirculated or feature minting errors, have been known to fetch impressive amounts at auction. For example, one rare 1986 quarter with a unique flaw was sold for an astonishing $72,000. Yes, you heard that right, $72,000 for a single quarter. This goes to show that the value of a rare coin can skyrocket depending on its condition and rarity. So, how do you find one of these hidden treasures? The key is to be vigilant when sorting through your change, browsing online marketplaces, or visiting coin shops. Look for quarters that are in mint or near mint condition, and don't overlook the possibility of minting errors. If you come across a 1986 quarter that seems to have some unique characteristics, such as a misalignment or doubling in the design, you could be holding onto a coin worth far more than its face value. To wrap it up, the 1986 quarter may seem like just another coin in your collection or pocket, but it holds more value than you might think. Whether it's the coin's historical significance, its excellent condition, or a rare minting error, the seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth thousands of dollars. So, the next time you come across a 1986 quarter, take a closer look, it might just be worth $72,000. Happy hunting! Top 4 1990 stands out as a coin with intriguing potential, making it a must-have for collectors and coin enthusiasts alike. While many might see a 1990 quarter as just another piece of change, there's a fascinating history and remarkable value hidden behind this seemingly ordinary coin. Let's take a closer look at the 1990 quarter, its history, and why it might be worth much more than you would expect. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932 and is one of the most recognized coins in the United States. Featuring the profile of the first U.S. President, George Washington, on the obverse side, with an eagle on the reverse, the design of the quarter has remained largely unchanged. However, despite its consistency, the value of certain quarters varies significantly from one year to another, and the 1990 quarter is a prime example of this. You might be surprised to learn that a 1990 quarter can actually be worth far more than its face value of 25 cents, depending on a few critical factors. First, let's talk about the composition of the 1990 quarter. By this time, quarters were made using a copper-nickel clad composition, which was introduced in 1965 as a result of rising silver prices. Unlike earlier quarters that contained 90% silver, the 1990 quarter is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. While the shift in composition made these quarters more affordable to produce, it also marked a departure from the silver quarters that are so highly prized by collectors today. But don't let that fool you, the 1990 quarter still holds significant value, particularly for those who are keen on collecting U.S. coins from specific time periods. What makes the 1990 quarter particularly interesting is the time in which it was minted. The late 1980s and early 1990s were a time of transition in U.S. coinage, especially as the nation began to move towards more commemorative coin programs. While the 1990 quarter was still part of the regular Washington Quarter series, it came just before the introduction of the 50 States Quarters program, which began in 1999. The 1990 quarter represents a point in time when U.S. coinage was still focused on the traditional designs of the Washington quarter but was on the brink of major change. For many collectors, this makes the 1990 quarter an important coin to have in their collections, as it marks the end of an era in U.S. currency design. Now, let's dive into the factors that can significantly affect the value of a 1990 quarter. Like most coins, the condition of the coin plays a vital role in determining its worth. A quarter that has been heavily circulated and shows signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, and faded details, is likely to be worth only its face value of 25 cents. However, if the coin is in pristine condition, free from any visible damage, and has sharp, well-defined details, it becomes much more valuable. Coins that are in uncirculated or near-mint condition can command a premium price, making them highly sought after by collectors. Additionally, one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the potential for minting errors. Minting errors occur when a flaw happens during the production process, causing the coin to have characteristics that make it unique. For the 1990 quarter, there are several types of minting errors that could make a coin stand out, including double strikes, misaligned dies, or even coins with missing elements. These errors are rare and are highly valued by collectors, as they provide a glimpse into the sometimes imperfect process of coin production. A 1990 quarter with a notable minting error could be worth far more than a regular, unflawed coin, and such examples can fetch surprising prices at auction. For instance, a 1990 quarter with a double die error, where the coin was struck more than once, could have overlapping details on the design, which creates an interesting visual effect. Similarly, if the coin was struck with a misaligned die, the design might be off-center, giving the coin a distinctive appearance. These errors are incredibly rare, and when they do occur, they can dramatically increase the value of the coin. Another reason why the 1990 quarter is valuable is its significance within the context of U.S. coin history. As mentioned earlier, this quarter was minted during a time when the country was preparing for the 50 States Quarters program, which would become one of the most popular and successful coin series in U.S. history. The 1990 quarter marks the final years of the traditional Washington Quarter series, and for many collectors, this makes it an important piece to have in their collection. It's a bridge between the past and the future of U.S. coinage, capturing the end of an era just before the exciting new designs of the state quarters took over. So, just how much can a 1990 quarter be worth? As with most coins, the value depends on its condition and any unique characteristics it may have. If you come across a 1990 quarter that has been well preserved or has an interesting minting error, you could be holding on to a rare and valuable piece of history. While a typical, circulated 1990 quarter will only be worth its face value, a well-preserved, uncirculated quarter can be worth several dollars, and one with a minting error could fetch even more. In some cases, a particularly rare 1990 quarter with unique characteristics has been known to sell for as much as $70,000. That's right, $70,000 for a single quarter. This price is a testament to the potential value of a 1990 quarter, especially when it comes to coins with exceptional quality or rare minting flaws. If you're a coin collector or just getting started, the 1990 quarter is a great coin to keep an eye out for. Whether you're looking for a coin that represents a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history, searching for a rare minting error, or hoping to find one in pristine condition, the 1990 quarter is a coin that could prove to be worth much more than its face value. So, the next time you're sifting through your spare change or browsing through a coin collection, be sure to look closely at any 1990 quarters you come across. You might just find a hidden treasure worth $70,000 or more. Happy collecting, and remember, sometimes the most valuable items are the ones you least expect to find. Top 5 1983. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth far more than its 25-cent value? That's the magic of coin collecting. Some coins, like the 1983 US quarter dollar, have an incredible potential to become valuable treasures, with prices reaching stunning figures. So let's take a closer look at the 1983 quarter, explore its history, and find out why it might just be sitting in your pocket, ready to make you a fortune. The United States quarter, with its classic design featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse, has been one of the most recognizable coins in American currency for decades. Though the design has remained relatively unchanged since 1932, there are certain years when specific quarters are particularly valuable, and 1983 happens to be one of those years. If you've never thought much about the 1983 quarter, it's time to shift your perspective because it may hold more than just a simple reflection of American history. It could hold significant monetary value. By 1983, the U.S. Mint had long shifted from using silver in most coins, including the quarter, to using a copper-nickel clad composition. The change occurred in 1965 as silver prices skyrocketed, causing the mint to search for more cost-effective alternatives. As a result, the 1983 quarter, like others of its time, is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. Though the composition itself might not seem special at first, it's what happened during the minting process of the 1983 quarter that makes it a coin worth investigating. A significant factor that impacts the value of the 1983 quarter, like with any coin, is its condition. Over time, most quarters that circulate through daily transactions get worn, scratched, and battered. However, the 1983 quarter, just like any other coin, could also have been preserved in excellent condition, making it a highly sought-after collectible. Coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition are incredibly valuable, as they are far rarer than those that have seen heavy circulation. So, a 1983 quarter in pristine condition is likely to fetch a higher price than you would expect, but it doesn't stop there. Another crucial element that can elevate the value of a coin is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors occur during the coin production process and can result in unusual characteristics on the coin that make it stand out. These errors are rare, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for coins with such flaws because they are unique. A 1983 quarter, for instance, could have been struck with an off-center die or might have an improperly aligned design. Other errors might include double strikes, where the coin was struck multiple times, creating overlapping or distorted images. Any of these errors can transform a standard coin into a rare and valuable collectible. Minting errors are highly coveted by collectors because they offer a glimpse into the imperfections of the minting process. When such an error occurs, the coin becomes one of a kind, and its rarity makes it incredibly desirable. While minting errors are extremely rare, finding one on a 1983 quarter could mean you have stumbled upon a piece of U.S. currency worth a significant amount of money. Another reason why the 1983 quarter is valuable is its place in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint was in the midst of producing millions of quarters every year during this time, but the 1983 coin represents an important transitional period in the history of U.S. currency. The coin came just before the era of the 50 states quarters program, which began in 1999. For collectors who focus on specific years or periods, the 1983 quarter is a piece of history. It's a bridge between the traditional Washington quarter series and the exciting new wave of state-themed quarters that would come later. Owning a 1983 quarter, therefore, is not just about its potential monetary value, it's also about its significance within the broader scope of U.S. coinage. Now, let's get into the part that you've been waiting for, the potential value of a 1983 quarter. While a typical, circulated 1983 quarter is worth its face value of 25 cents, a well-preserved, uncirculated quarter, or one with a rare minting error, could fetch a much higher price. In fact, some 1983 quarters have been known to sell for astonishing amounts when they have certain characteristics that collectors seek. A rare 1983 quarter with an uncirculated finish or a minting error could be worth thousands of dollars. But there's one notable example that stands out from the rest. In one of the most remarkable cases, a 1983 quarter with a unique error was sold for an incredible $76,000. Yes, you read that right, $76,000 for a single quarter. This is a perfect example of how a simple coin, when in exceptional condition or possessing a rare flaw, can be transformed into a highly valuable asset. So, how do you go about finding one of these hidden treasures? The key is to be vigilant and knowledgeable when you're sorting through your change or browsing online marketplaces. If you have a keen eye for spotting coins in excellent condition or potential minting errors, you might be able to uncover a valuable piece of U.S. history that could pay off handsomely when looking for rare coins. Pay special attention to quarters from 1983. Look for those that have sharp details, no visible wear, and no signs of scratches or discoloration. Also, if you come across a quarter with an unusual characteristic, a double strike, off-center design, or misaligned die, hold on to it, as it could be worth far more than just 25 cents. To wrap up, the 1983 quarter may seem like just another coin in your pocket, but in reality, it could be much more. Whether it's in perfect condition, has an incredible minting error, or is simply a key piece in the history of U.S. coinage, this quarter has the potential to be worth much more than you ever imagined. So, the next time you spot a 1983 quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just find a coin worth $76,000. Keep an eye out, and happy collecting!